Hey Pepper Gang, Seekers of Skyveil just moved to a closed beta stage with the initial weekend that I just played, and from here on out starting September 27th, they will have a weekly Friday test, so you haven't gotten a chance to play, you will have that chance every Friday. Now in this video, I'm going to share what changed in patch notes from alpha to beta, share my impressions on the current state of the game, give some feedback on what can be improved, and to cap off the video, show you another full raid from this past weekend. Now as an official partner, I have Twitch drops enabled for loot and access to the game on my channel during playtest, so you will be able to access Seekers that way if you haven't yet. I'm fully addicted to this game and I want to share that experience with as many of you as possible, so I have begun making a Seekers of Skyveil playlist here on my channel. So if you are uneducated on what this game is, it's just first time hearing about it, go check out the playlist to learn more. This is one of the games I am most excited for this year and will continue to cover heavily. Now in regards to what changed since the last alpha and beginning of the closed beta, the patch notes are linked down below for your viewing, but we got a new Seeker. He's in the thumbnail, Rin the Lunar Acolyte. I didn't try him out yet, but he is a support character that is all about augmenting his abilities and deciding whether to assist teammates or boost his offensive prowess. I played my favorite Seeker, Zuraya, all weekend long, but plan on making my way through more Seekers throughout these Friday tests, so you might get to see me try Rin down the road. And moving on, the game did wipe to give everyone a fresh slate between alpha and beta. This was my first time experiencing a fresh economy, a fresh wipe in the game, and what I noticed really quickly, like many extractors, is that the players with the most hours, game knowledge, were able to acquire insane gear very quickly. I noticed the best teams had triple the gear score of others within hours of the test starting out. The small population right now exaggerates this feeling of being left behind, since many testers are very good players, but it is quite intimidating for new players to witness and worse, encounter and raid. Seeing gear score triple your level on day 1 and 2 of a wipe is a turnoff for new players, and I know several people haven't touched the uncapped map, even though they unlocked it, due to knowing the gear difference is huge, and they will get rolled over if seen by a better team. Even though I spend most of my time in the uncapped Ancient Veil map, apparently the first capped map aimed for beginners had the issue of experienced trios going in with the max gear score and bullying new players. These players are playing within the parameters of the game. I'm not hating what they're doing, they're just playing, but that is an issue that won't go away as the game pop grows and more like-minded players show up. I think part of that issue is that people feel outmatched by max gear players in the uncapped map and don't want to risk losing any gear due to gear fear, since the gear disparity feels pretty big. So they rather stay in the parameters of the capped map, knowing they will be at a closer playing field. In the current state of Seekers, it feels like gear is everything, and you just can't win fights based off ability, skill, and timing as much. This whole predicament is similar to Dark and Darker and Dungeon-born lobbies. A lot of experienced people rather go in full grade gear in the first bucket of gear score in those games because it feels more even. Fights are more about skill, what you do with your player's kit, and how you navigate the map, less about what you're wearing. The moment you leave those lobbies in those games and enter more variant gear score buckets, you feel like you can't even compete with certain players with many more hours. It's pretty evident. I'm seeing this exact same predicament playing out in Seekers right now at a smaller population. I know LOD is taking all the feedback they can and applying it, and I know this is a reoccurring issue even since before I began covering the game. Progression and matchmaking have a long way to go, and I will discuss more of this when we're discussing wipes. Now moving on into patch notes, the devs changed chests to drop only one piece of gear, but they can still drop items like sellable loot, gems, and consumables. Junk loot also had sell prices reduced significantly. Even though this is only one step in working on the economy, with these changes, it honestly made filling with random teammates really frustrating. It felt like everyone was always huddled around each chest, no matter the rarity, in hopes of stealing the one gear piece as soon as it opened. I found myself doing this. Otherwise, I would leave raid with very little loot. Combined with limited comms, I actually strongly dislike playing with random teammates as a solo, and this change made it worse. The game is not an easy one to play solo, so you are encouraged to fill with random teammates, but with the way the loot spawns, it's just not an enjoyable experience. It's quite a turn off. It makes you not want to play the game anymore. But if you queue in solo no-fill like I have been doing all weekend, you run the risk of getting destroyed the moment a team sees you. Solo experience is not an easy and enjoyable one in Seekers right now, but I know they have heard feedback on it in the past, and they have confirmed in their Discord that internally, it's something they are working on. I personally think down the road, the way Dark and Darker handles solo, duo, trio queues on different maps could be a way Seekers handles multiple queues once the game is in early access and it has a much higher population. Again, smaller populations tend to exaggerate issues in these extraction games. There are many solo extraction fans out there that won't bother filling with teammates ever, but even if they do, the experience is frustrating in the game's current state and can create a poor first impression. In a world dominated by reactionary takes and social media, first impressions are everything for new players. I'm curious to see how LOD approaches random field teammates from here on out, expands on ping comms to make them more useful, and if when they test out solo queues. Now moving through the patch notes, one of my favorite positive changes was the pickup vacuum. From now on, anytime you break boxes for gold or mats, you don't have to stand right on top of them, but you can just vacuum them instead. Made for smoother gameplay, I didn't have to fret over every little piece I found. As we continue through the notes, there was a netcode rework. Again, the details are down below. During the test, I had a pretty smooth experience. I did notice a few ping spikes here and there, and it seems there were some issues with Amazon Web Services during the weekend, but it wasn't that big of an issue. Optimization, it's something that will continue to improve with time, like most early access games. One of the cooler additions to the beta was the use of finishers. Since they removed the dropping of your bag mechanic last alpha, the devs felt there was a bit of a lull in gameplay after you knock someone. So now, whenever you knock someone, you can stand over and hold F to finish them. I personally wasn't able to finish anyone just yet, since most PvP, you had to move on to the next enemy right away when fighting teams, and once you kill all three, all Seekers die. But I do like the idea of finishers. Once they add animations and that pizzazz to it, I'm sure we will see many more people attempting them. A major change starting this test came to the extractors. Team extractors now pause whenever an enemy approaches the platform. If the timer was below 10 seconds, it will reset back to 10 after a pause. The change I really like is that once an extractor is used, it changes locations on the map. This dynamic change will make every end of the raid completely different than all the others, will help combat extract camping and keep things fresh. The devs also removed single-use extractors and reintroduced solo extracts with the same reposition mechanic. As a solo extraction fan, I like that this got re-added. I felt like it made solo gameplay a little easier than it was in the alphas. I was able to reach that solo extract quite often and had very little resistance at them, unlike team extracts. I'm already taking a loss going in and having to play the game differently, not being able to get all the bosses and best loot, so being able to guarantee an easier extract does balance out that solo experience. I do think whenever the tunnel extraction event happens in Seekers, that is where the only way out on the second map is through one extract into the tunnels, that solos get screwed over immensely with that event. Even if you have to wait until the last possible extract to take the tunnel, I noticed many experienced teams staying in raid as long as possible, clearing camps, bosses, using the wishing well, and then camping the tunnel extract, making it virtually impossible to leave as a solo, since you either have to go through them and die since you're solo, or wait and die to the storm. I suggest that in every match, including those with a tunnel event, that there still be a solo extract on the map. This will also allow weaker geared duos and trios to split up if needed and extract individually, but it's safer than fighting over the tunnel extract, especially when you know there's a team that's double, triple your gear score as a team. This whole process might take longer, but it does give you another option to leave. My only frustrating moments as a solo came down to the tunnel extracts when they got camped. I had about 3 matches in a row this weekend with that event on, and I only once extracted, even though I safely ran the entire raid each time and did a good job avoiding teams and escaped them. It felt like I did everything perfectly, but still got screwed over due to having the last extract camped. This issue will definitely be a common one for future solo players, and I hope LOD Games considers more avenues in the gameplay loop to allow solo gameplay to flourish. Not everyone playing extraction games have people to queue games with. Not everyone wants to group up with people every time they play. Sometimes scheduling is hard with friends, especially if you're a 30-year-old gamer like myself. but you still want a game, and if Seekers is your favorite, you want to try playing it solo. Seekers, being very intimidating, difficult solo in its current state, will be a major turnoff for a large chunk of extraction game fans. Moving on from the extractor talk, the devs added a mini-map that is toggable. I like this change for new players to help them orient themselves, find speed and heal altars, and understand pathing decisions better. Experienced players have the ability to turn it off and never use it. I personally never mind additions to games like this as long as they are toggable, which this one is. It's a good change overall. I personally used it to decide what chest I wanted to go for as I was developing solo loot routes. Another feedback point to the solo experience and in general to Seekers right now is that even though I like events and information being given to me about other teams and their whereabouts, I feel like there is too much information being shared to everyone. I understand in MOBAs and from playing them, you want to know when someone is taking a major boss, and I think notifications for big bosses and Seekers is fine. But combined with the map highlighting when many bosses are defeated, the player location event that happens frequently, and all the info being given to the rest of the players, it makes stealthy gameplay and solo gameplay a lot less feasible. Experienced players can roam, predict pathing, and jump on lesser experienced teams and players because of all the information being given to them through the HUD combined with their game knowledge. Force players to roam and explore the map to see if any bosses have been cleared. Don't make it too easy by just telling them on the top left. Ideally, I would like a dial back in this department. I think uncertainty and the unknown adds to the excitement of extraction games, and Seekers is lacking in this department. I understand some of this information knowledge overload carries from the MOBA side of things, but this is an extraction game after all, and some of that intensity the genre has comes from the unknown and lack of information in these games. Some of the best moments in extraction games have been when you don't know how many people are left, where they are, and they suddenly appear. Make a last minute decision to PvP or run away. Last feedback area I would like to discuss is wipes. There is a feedback forum in the Seekers Discord. I will have the Discord link below for anyone to join, and the topic of wipes was brought up. Since mandatory wipes and self wipes are so tied to gear and level progression, I still don't know what LOD plans on doing with wipes. I'm hoping to see a response about that soon. With their emphasis on cosmetics, emotes, adventure passes, I can see them tackling wipes with either seasonal wipes like Hunt, with limited cosmetics each season, new battle passes, and limited time events to get people to come back each wipe. Or, I think a self-wipe prestige system could work here too, similar to what Marauders has done, but obviously more fleshed out. Ideally, if you want to satisfy the non-wipe crowd and the wiping crowd, incentivizing self-wipes with a prestige system is one of the best solutions. The recurring economy in Seekers allows experienced players to acquire really good gear easily and to PvP against other players, so self-wiping wouldn't be that punishing if you lost all your gear, since a player self-wiping will have that ability and knowledge to reacquire it quickly. The trick is to make that process worth it, and Seekers can do this with unique, prestige-only cosmetics, emotes, skins, and perhaps crafts through the crafting vendor. Discounts for gear, gems, socket placement can also be rewards for prestiging, as well as permanent stash space. Either way, I'm curious to see what LOD plans on doing here, because every extraction game has this looming issue and dilemma, and it can dictate the direction of development. As I cover the game's development and stream it, I will keep you guys informed on what I know about it here. There's more to the patch notes. I'm not going to go over every single change, just the ones that stood out the most to me. I wanted to point out the bigger changes, discuss my experience this past weekend as a solo-only queue player. But with all that said, from here on now, I want you to enjoy one of my better raids this weekend with little editing. We still only have limited time with Seekers right now, so I know many of you have not seen much gameplay or a full raid. I appreciate you listening to all this. Let me know your thoughts on anything and everything down below. Look out for that weekly Friday stream. Thanks again and enjoy this raid. Weird. I blend in with the game now. My screen's all, my face is all green. A little healing. Might as well get the rest of the gold I need. Crafting mats. Yep, I like what they're thinking. Got a little poison from the woodsy shroom. Right now, I wanted to share this song. Listen to this song that I found. It's filthy. Someone would have never imagined people were doing this to his music. Dun, dun, dun. Bah, 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 bah. Ba, 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 ba. Let's wait for it. Some filthy shit. Very nice. Armor speed. Okay, it looks like we maybe jumped someone here. We might run into a team. I might turn my light back on. I gotta find a way to make it so it's either too bright or too dark. I'll figure it out after today. You use it or what? Nice, I got all the gold I needed for the quest. Bale's gonna die. Ooh, I got hit.
An opponent.
Okay, we're good, we're good. We got this. What about that big boy though? I get the smaller guys first. Yeah, there we go. Get the little guy.
An elite chest has been opened.
Oh shit! Get me out there! They got us at a bad time.
Okay.
Might get a fight here. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. I can't close the distance. Nice, nice. Get me out there. Got that speed for them. Finish him.
Okay.
You gotta run. Man, they split us. Okay, I might be able to heal here quick.
An Unedited meteor has been spotted. Its rival Seeker defeated.
I can come back and help. Huge. That was big. That was big. He's dead. He's dead.
Rival
Let's go. Let's go, dude. Big.
squad eliminated.
That was big. That was real big.
The aura storm is starting to collapse. An Unedited meteor has landed nearby.
Yeah, I like it with the light on. Much better. I finished that, dude. Did you guys see it? Whew. It was big. This banger came on at the perfect time. That was a big fight. Where do you want to go? You want to extract? Nah. We're going, guys. Get some action, maybe? Might be people around here.
Rival Seeker defeated.
Oh, you ain't getting away from me, boy. No way.
Rival Seeker
Get off me.
squad eliminated.
Do we get split up? Even got the heal off too. Hold on. That was big. Where's my team, guys? I might have to go to the solo. Like, I'm by myself out here. Oh shit. It was about to go hard, huh? Oh, I remember hearing this. On. Need this. That's ain't too long.
A Seeker has bested an opponent.
I don't know why I went there. I should have left. I'm mad at myself for even going in there. We got the quest done. It's just, dude, I should have gone with my gut and just said, screw my team here. I should have just left.